Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a finance related topic. I know that many of you come around to look for money management and financial advice. Even though that is not my main focus of content here on this channel, I do sprinkle it in from time to time because it is a huge passion area of mine. Financial literacy, financial empowerment, especially for us women. I can talk about this all day long. So since many of you have expressed interest, here I am today. So in today's video, I'm going to get a little bit more concrete and I'm going to share with you how much of our money goes towards wants, how much of our money goes towards needs or necessities, and how much goes towards savings or future investment. So I will break it down for you, and I'm going to share a very simple rule that I did not create, but it's sort of a rule of thumb that has been around for a long time in the finance world and has helped many. So before we get into it, I do want to kindly thank our sponsor here, and that is Rose Forever. So let me show you these beautiful lavender roses that were sent to me from Rose Forever. As you know, I'm a huge fan of this company. They're a New York-based brand that I've gotten to know over the years, and I think they might have been one of the first companies I ever featured on my channel, so I'm supremely grateful for them. They actually use all natural, real roses, but they preserve them with natural oils, so no chemicals, and these are meant to last for a full year. The reason why I'm sharing these with you is because Mother's Day is right around the corner, and I'm all about savvy money management and value, getting the best bang for my buck. If you wanted to get some roses for yourself or to treat a loved one, or especially your mom in your life, these roses are absolutely beautiful. They will not wither as, just normal roses do. These will stick around for at least a year, and they're absolutely beautiful, and you do get your bang for your buck. Rose Forever is having a massive sale at the moment up until May 15th. So they're doing like 50 to 60% off on a lot of their sets. Look at this here. This is my favorite. You guys have seen this before if you've been on my channel. This is the Crystal Collection. So it has a pull-out acrylic drawer, and I'm sure you have seen I have put many things in here because I have several of these sets around our home now. So I put sometimes my cosmetic products, sometimes I put ribbons that I get, ribbons and wrapping paper sort of accessories from little packaging that I get. Sometimes I put little vials of my perfume samples, so you can get really creative. And I also have laid in my sunglasses in one of these, and it fits perfectly. So I stack in 3 to 4 sunglasses, and it fits really nicely. So this is my first set of lavender. They have many beautiful colors. They've got pinks and reds and yellows and black even and blue. If you also have allergies, my son unfortunately is suffering from allergies this season, and so if you do have allergies and you want to enjoy some beautiful roses, then you can get something like this from Rose Forever New York and not have to worry about all the sneezing. So I'll put my code down below. You can save an extra $25 on top of the sale prices, and I'll link everything down below in my description box in case you're interested in checking them out. I highly recommend Rose Forever New York. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to move this to the side here, and let's talk about this rule, this simple rule that I follow. So I'm going to show you, I did a very, 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 very simple diagram on my computer, and I printed this out. So this is the 50-30-20 rule. I think many of you may be familiar with this already, but if not, if this is your first time seeing it, I hope it's helpful. So the basic breakdown is that you would divide up all of your money into 3 segments. 50% going to needs, then the remainder 50% being divided into 2 chunks, 30% wants, which is like, frivolous luxury items like we talk about here on this channel, shopping, going out to eat, entertainment. These are things that are just extras in life, that they're not necessary. And then 20% going into your savings for future, for retirement, for investments, for whatever dreams and goals you might have for yourself. So this is the basic rule. Now, I will say this. This has changed for me over the years. When I was younger, I will say that vast majority of my money went to needs with very little left over for wants or savings. And then it has shifted and shifted and shifted, but I would say probably over the last 15 to 18 years or so in my grown-up life, I've been following this without even knowing that there was an actual rule. I've been always trying to save at least 30%, actually. I've been pretty aggressive. You guys know I'm kind of conservative with my money, even though it may not look like it here. So I did do my breakdown. This is my current breakdown, and it was easy for me to do because we just did our taxes a few weeks ago. If you're here in the US, then you probably filed your taxes as well. And when we do our taxes, I review all of our finances every everything that went out, everything that went to donations, everything that came in terms of income, where they came from, whether it was passive income, active income from my job, or from our investments. I just break it all down. And I also write down every time I spend money on something that is a want. So I have a list and I look at my credit card history. So I kind of just poured over all of it. It's like my annual audit. So this is the current breakdown that we have right now. So this is not for you to mimic. This is just giving you kind of an idea. So I did this because I wanted to see where I stood currently. So this is actually after tax income. That's what you're supposed to do according to this sort of rule of thumb. So you're basically dividing up your money after taxes, and that is because taxes are unavoidable. That money goes out and you can't use it for yourself. So this is after tax income. So at the moment we are allocating about 42% to needs, and I'll break that out in terms of what that entails for us. And then 33% is going to savings. For me, it's always been at least 30%, sometimes more aggressively up to 40%, but it kind of fluctuates because we've got kids and lots of expenses. But at the moment, it looks to be around 33%, and then wants 25%. So at the moment, please keep in mind we have a dual income family, and we don't have any debt. We haven't had debt for over a decade now, and so we're in a financial secure situation. Wasn't always the case, definitely was not always the case, and I'm in my early 40s. So if you're younger than that, then just keep in mind, this is not where you're expected to be right this second. Everyone's got their own sort of financial journey, and it's going to be up and down. It's not linear. So at the moment, we are spending less on wants, and we are putting away more in savings and a little less in needs. But again, this might change as our kids grow and our needs change, but this is our breakdown right now. Very easy for you to make your own chart like this. All you need to do is just get a paper and pen, get your grab your calculator, and what I did was I just literally wrote out where all of our money goes. So for example, for our needs, currently 42%. Actually, let me use the generic one here so you can use this as a frame of reference instead of my numbers. So let's say generally 50% or less on needs. What that includes for us, things like housing, food, life insurance, utilities, phone. I think nowadays having a phone is a necessity as we need accessibility. Clothes, even I'm not talking about splurging on shopping, but the bare minimum of clothes. As our kids get older, their sizes change. I need to get them new sneakers, new pants and shirts and jackets. So I've estimated that based on previous spend history. And then both of our children do attend private school. So tuition for us is a need at the moment. I wasn't sure if I should put that into the want category just because that's optional. They could essentially attend a free public school, but because of our priorities at the moment, I've put it into the needs category. Okay, so those are essentially our needs at the moment. And then our wants are things like travel. So travel actually is our number one spend category for our wants. So that's just going to be how it is, and we'll adjust that down if we need to tighten up. But for now, we have been traveling quite a bit just because we do love that as a family. Shopping, that's discretionary, unnecessary shopping. That's not, essential food shopping type of thing. This is shopping for handbags, shoes, jewelry, excess, entertainment, maybe movies, going out to dinner, watching a show, that type of thing. Self-care or grooming, haircuts, massage, facials, those are really not necessary. You could do all of that yourself or at home. So those go into the want category. And I also include in here for us gifts for each other and gifts for friends and family members go into the wants, and also our donations. So I don't know if that is where other people would categorize donations, but we do put them into the wants because it's not exactly a recurring necessary cost. It is optional for us to donate. Now, I will say that for donations, I've mentioned this in previous videos, we do automate about 99% of our donations and then a little extra here and there as needs come up. But even though it's automated and it's consistently going out every month, I still feel like it's a want versus the need. Let me know if you guys have a different opinion on that. I am open to discussion. I'm also open to learning from you guys. I should say at this point, full disclaimer, as I always do, I am not a finance professional. I have never worked in the finance industry. I have no accreditation or anything like that. I just am really passionate about finance, and I've taught myself over the years saving, investing, hustling, and just being really sort of disciplined, I suppose. So I share with you as much as I can from a personal level. Okay, and then savings. So at the moment we're doing 401k from my job. My husband does a self-employed IRA, which is the SEP IRA. Then we also have Roth IRAs. We max those all out. We have a health savings account. We max those out. 529s, which are the college savings funds for our kids. So we put money aside every year for that. Then we also have brokerage accounts so that our kids can start playing around with trading. I've been teaching them a little bit about the value of being in the stock market. So we opened up an UGMA brokerage account. If you don't know what those are, you can quickly Google them. But they're basically guardianship owned, meaning that they're under the names of the children, but there's a guardian attached, which in this case happens to be me. And then when they turn 18, automatically that money becomes theirs officially and legally. But right now, because they're under 18, I have to be attached as a guardian and then kind of help them navigate. Then we also have a brokerage account under my name where I do my trading. And then we have taxable property that we use as investment. So it's rental property. So that's kind of the rundown. And so again, this is our breakdown at the moment, but please note once again that this was very different looking when we were younger and may also adjust as we get older depending on how our money needs change. Now, I will say this, what I've been hearing over and over again over the past year or so is that a lot of people are tightening up. There was a recent CNBC survey, and I'll link the original article down below so you can read the source for yourself. But they said that more than half, or about 58% of all Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck. So that is mind-blowing to me, paycheck to paycheck. And then if you're thinking, well, a lot of people are out of work or they're struggling, actually there was another study done in a separate article, and I'll try to link it down below if I can find it. But they said that more than half of Americans earning six-figure salaries admitted that they are living paycheck to paycheck, and many have debt on top of that. So let me say that again. More than half of Americans earning six-figure salaries admitted to living paycheck to paycheck. Now, of course, there are going to be some situations where it's just very unusual circumstances where, you may be making a lot of money, but you have a lot of expenses because of health, medical issues. You might be supporting multiple family members, and that's all something that is praiseworthy because you're using your money to support those that you love. But I think in the vast majority of cases, based on what I'm reading, there are high earners out there who are living paycheck to paycheck because this category here, this wants category, is much, much, much higher, leaving absolutely no room for savings. So let's say you take that 20%, put it right in here. So then it's 50% on wants, which are unnecessary, but add some flavor to life, and then 50% to needs that are just recurring necessities that you can't escape, and then nothing for your future self. That to me is, again, it's mind-blowing, and I've always said on this channel that I have been a firm believer of paying yourself first. What that means is when you get your income, you make sure that you set aside a certain percentage that goes automatically into a separate account for your savings and for a future, and that's what I do every single month. So that money is untouched. I am not tempted to use it. I don't even see it, and it's just sort of on autopilot. And so I do put all of my savings on autopilot. Same with our kids' savings. And as I mentioned, our donations as well. And then whatever is left over is what we use for, I guess the wants. And we don't have to always use that either. If we have extra left over, then we can donate more or we can put more away for savings. So there's always some flexibility. None of this is meant to feel rigid or too strict. It is really supposed to be a rule of thumb so that you feel like you have some guide rails and you feel like you are in control of your money. That is the number one thing that I want to encourage, that you feel like you have the control and the power to choose your destiny in terms of what you want to do with the money that you currently earn. And if you want to make more, then there's a whole, you can go down an entire path of reading books and listening to podcasts and watching different YouTube channels. And you can even look at my playlist where I talk about other money topics. And you can find inspiration to go ahead and make more money. A while ago, I had done a video about the 10 different sources of income that I've made. And it's really not rocket science. I'm not special. I just felt motivated to find different paths of income, and anyone can do it, trust me. And if you feel that you make plenty, but somehow it just slips through your hands like sand, then you can focus on the other side, which is tightening up. So let's say you look at your income, and from a very logical and honest standpoint, you have to admit to yourself that, hey, I make a good income, whatever way you look at it, where I live, my lifestyle, my age, my circumstances, I should be living pretty okay, better than okay with my income. Then maybe what you need to look at is your pie chart, your allocation of money. So if so much of it is going here that you don't have room for paying yourself first and paying your future self, then really it's as simple as tightening up this category. Make sure that you're checking to see, where are you spending the most? Is it all car related? Is it all jewelry related? Is it all entertainment related? Is it mostly self-care? What are things that are triggering you to spend so much in that category? Are you stressed out, burnout? Are you bored? Try to find those triggers, identify what is pushing you to make all these purchases in this category that are really not going to be satisfying you in the long term, and then push that over to your savings. And if you feel like that is just too hard, like I said, automate it so that you don't have that temptation every month to just use it. It's gone. As soon as your paycheck comes in or your income comes in, it splits out and goes bye-bye. And so you'd really have to actively go against yourself to dip into your savings and pull it out. Okay? So yeah, that's what I would say. The 50-30-20 rule is a very simple principle that I think could be helpful to many of you starting out. Many of you have been asking me for really specifics, like exactly where I invest. I can get into all of that. I'm just very wary because, again, I'm not a finance professional, and you have to really determine for yourself, what are you comfortable investing in? You don't ever want to invest in anything that you don't understand. And what is your risk tolerance? And that could be based on your situation in life, your life stage. Do you have kids that you have to support? Do you have a family? Are you single? Do you own your own property, or do you have a mortgage? Are you older and you're closer to retirement, because then naturally your risk tolerance might be lower because you want to have a solid nest egg if you're about to retire in just, a couple of years, versus me, where I'm still in my early 40s and I have a slightly longer time horizon. So there's so many variables that it really makes me feel a little bit hesitant to sit down and say, here's where I put all of my money exactly like this, because it's not going to be relevant to everyone. It's not going to make sense for everyone. But I will say that in terms of basic principles of how I manage our money, this is kind of how it looks. This is what it looks like today. This was the numbers from last year, so this is going to be pretty similar. I think going forward this year, I want to tighten up even more on this side. I think I can shrink this a bit more, because I've been doing a lot of videos talking about how I have plenty and I'm really enjoying just everything that I have so far already, and letting the gratitude seep in and not getting sucked into the chase of more. That's a trap, to think that you have to constantly upgrade and constantly acquire every new color, every new size, every new gadget, every new thing, every new trend. So I'm at a point where I feel very comfortable. I think you guys you've been hearing that in my voice in a lot of the recent videos. So in order for me to think a little bit more broadly about our future, I feel like this can absolutely shrink, and then I can start dreaming more about here, be a little bit more playful, because we're saving very traditionally, but I can now think about maybe some other investments that are not crazy risky, but a little bit more fun, a little bit more outside the box, a little bit less conventional. And then this, I think, will be static for a little bit of time, so I probably will not have much control over this. Now, again, if your income goes up because you are hustling and you're getting a new job opportunity or you're getting promoted, the ratios here might change as well. And I always say, make sure that you're saving a percentage of your income, not a dollar amount. This way, when you go up in income, your savings will naturally go up proportionally because it's tied to a percentage versus a dollar amount. You don't want to make this much money and then say, I'm going to save $500 a month, but then you make this much money and you're still only saving $500 a month. That's just an arbitrary number I'm making up. Because then your savings will not keep up with your income, and what happens naturally is that your income grows and then you're trapped into what is called lifestyle inflation. You make a lot more money, so you just keep spending and your life gets upgraded, but that savings amount stays static because you didn't realize you never adjusted that, right? Same thing with when you receive unexpected bonuses or bigger bonuses than what you were, hoping for. Throw some of that or all of that into savings if you can. If you have the bandwidth to do that and it's not going to make your life difficult, why not? Because this is not a punishment to put your money into savings. This is a gift to yourself. This is a treat to yourself. This is where your future self is going to look into this area of your pie chart and go, wow, thank you so much for thinking of me, because now this gives you freedom of choice, freedom of time, freedom to retire, freedom to travel, freedom to experiment, freedom to play, freedom to take some risks. And it's not about having money to be rich. It's about having money so that you can do all these things and have a fuller life. So I hope this has been helpful. Also, check out Rose Forever if you are interested in beautiful preserved roses that last a full year. I have to say, I do think that you do get your bang for your buck when you're purchasing Rose Forever roses because they last so long and they come in this beautiful box. There's also like suede hat boxes and heart-shaped boxes and so many different sets that you can choose for different occasions. But this has always been my favorite, so you guys have seen me show this on a repeat because of that drawer and how functional it is. I'm all for multi-function. All right, so that is it. The last thing I will say before I close out, since there is so much interest in finance related topics, is that we're talking a lot about inflation, and there's been a lot of talk about the price of eggs. I don't know about you guys, but all around me it seems like it's in the news, and it's laughable but not really laughable. I saw a statistic recently that said that average grocery prices are up about 12% since last year. I don't know, something like last year or last month. 12% is a lot. That's even higher than what they're quoting for inflation numbers. So again, if that is the case and you are noticing that things that you have to buy, like staple items for food from the grocery stores, are going up by double-digit percentage increase, then you want to tighten up here. So if you're needing milk and eggs and the prices are going up, and you're thinking, well, I can't control that, you can control your total picture, which is to shrink this. So, all right, price of eggs and milk and whatever else might be going up. I don't need that third pair of shoes. I don't need 16 pairs of jeans. So this shrinks for the time being until the economy changes. So you evolve with the economy, but you are always in control, okay? So good luck to you. I hope this was an enlightening and interesting conversation versus a stressful one. I know that money can sometimes be, filled with anxiety and stress, but I always feel like the more we talk about it, the less taboo we make it, the more we can learn together and educate one another and really motivate and inspire each other to do better, to take control of our life, really, our financial life, and to feel good about ourselves. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've watched all the way until the end here and you've been watching without much eye candy, man, kudos to you guys. Really appreciate you. Really, really do. Please put a green apple emoji down below in the comment section just so I know you stuck around until the end. Really would appreciate that. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.